Hello, this is number 5 in a series of videos called 12 Fatal Mistakes that Property Investors Commonly Make and How to Avoid Them. Mistake number 5 is not factoring in buying, selling and management costs. We entrepreneurs are by nature optimistic, so this is a horribly common mistake that's knocked thousands off my margins in the past. Fees vary massively between solicitors, set-up charges and redemption charges. Interest rates vary wildly between different lenders, rather less so between surveyors and agents. Here are the most common nasties to factor in, and apologies for the length of this vid. I wanted it to be more comprehensive than pithy. Number 1 is stamp duty land tax, SDLT, on second properties, payable at 3% of purchase price on any purchase above 250,000 and 8% on anything above 250 up to 925,000. Those of you buying over 25,000 are paying 13% and over 1.5 million 15%, and this is now payable within 14 days of completion. There are different rates for commercial purposes, uninhabitable houses and some disadvantaged areas and new residential leaseholds. So check with HMRC on their website. 2 is early redemption charges. On fixed term mortgages, there's a penalty for leaving early. That's the price you pay for the peace of mind of knowing that however stratospheric the rise in interest rates, you'll still make the same monthly payments for the whole term of the agreement. Generally, the lower the ERC term, the higher the admin fees. So expect to pay 3.5% for a fee for a mortgage works no redemption charge mortgage. That's £7,000 on a 200k mortgage. Number 3 is mortgage lenders set up and admin fees. These can range enormously from a few hundred to 2,000 or 3,000. Grill your broker about all the charges and read the offer summary, the key facts indicated carefully. It's impressive just how many charges a lender can invent. It's quite creative, really. 4 is purchase and sales legals. Allows £750 for disbursements plus VAT. It's common on purchase for freeholds, a little more for leaseholds. Always insist on a flat fee plus disbursements and never an hourly charge. I've been charged £3,500 plus disbursements on a lease option purchase, and you only make that mistake once. Number 5 is mortgage and brokers fees, usually around 400 to 500, but some brokers provide free service, so shop around. The mortgage landscape is constantly shifting, so it's worth paying a little more for a good broker with a good knowledge of and some relationship with the lender's business managers. 6 is legals and fees for extending a short lease. Anything below 80 years on a lease means that the freeholder can take marriage value or the residual value, current value of the property into consideration. I recently paid £25,000 to extend by 90 years, that's the usual maximum suggested, on a 72-year lease on a flat purchase for 240,000 in South East London. But the legal costs add an additional 3,000 plus VAT. 7 is estate agents' fees. If your strategy is to add value and sell on, that's only usually advisable in a rising market, then add estate agents' fees of about 1.5% plus VAT for sole agency. It's always try and sell through the same agent that supplied the property unless it's a complete pig. 8 is architect, planning and building control on refurbishment. As a rule of thumb, allow 2,500 plus for architects' existing and proposed flat plans, rising to around 7,500 plus VAT for a full design and planning application service. With all refurbs, everything starts with the architect's plan. Planning applications, building control notices, builders' estimates, conversation with neighbours, freeholders. It shouldn't be necessary to spend the oft-quoted 15% of total cost of works for the full architect's design, planning and planning submission. and project management service on normal residential refurbs if you choose your builder carefully, but to dispense with an architect or architectural draftsman is a fool's economy. Builders love amendments and extras, but it's difficult to argue with a detailed plan attached to a contract. Allow 8 weeks for any planning decision after submitting full plans to a council. With local authority planning, you can generally add 50 cubic metres to a loft in a semi, or build out 3 metres within permitted development. That's 6 metres with neighbours' agreement, though further restrictions will apply in conservation areas. I allow 1,200 for council planning and building control notice fees, and make sure you instruct your private accredited building control consultant before you start the work, or you'll be forced to use a council building control officer. Number 9 is party wall agreements and water companies build-over agreements. Building within 3 metres of a boundary, if you're going deeper than the neighbour's foundations, say for a side return extension, you must serve a party wall notice. This can be a long and expensive process if the neighbour objects and elects to use their own party wall surveyor. Allow 8 weeks unless you have a very cooperative neighbour, and £3,000 for a disputed party wall notice. 10 is letting agents' fees. These vary massively, and so does the service they offer. In London, 12 to 15% plus VAT for full management is common, but Foxtons charge 26% plus for short corporate lets. Outside the greedy capital, 10% plus VAT is more common, but there are some excellent services available for 8% plus VAT for full management or 10% for HMO management, so shop around. For transcripts of these videos or for more information on flips and buy-to-let property investment generally, or to have a look at some of our recent deals, DM Roland Kane on LinkedIn or email roland@partners-in-property.com. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.